Stop letting astrology control your life. Stop letting astrology dictate what's happening in your reality. As conscious creators, as manifestors, we really need to let go of the attachment of needing validation from outside sources, including the 3D, including the physical reality. But if you are someone that has always looked for astrology and transits, oh, well, I can't do this during this time, or this astrologist predicted that because Jupiter is in Gemini currently, which it actually is, and I'm going to share a little story about why I'm posting this. Oh, that means that this could happen in this area of my life, right? We need to stop that. Before I keep going, I'm Suhaiti. This is your self-love advocate. And I talk about self-love, mindset, and manifestation, really sharing my experiences as someone who has become conscious and awake to manifestation and to the subconscious mind and our belief systems and how we create our life, right, on a moment-to-moment basis. So astrology for me, personal story time, was a huge factor in my decision making and in what I believed would happen by a certain time. You know, predictive astrology is very popular. It has always been very popular, but I feel like now with YouTube and TikTok, like more people are sucked into it. And for a really long time, even though I studied law of attraction and then, bumped into law of assumption and started watching coaches like Sammy Ingram and manifesting with Kimberly, and now Dylan James is kind of like my go-to coach. And I'm going to share another video on like how I've changed my approach to manifesting as of the last, few months. Even though I was buying into this manifesting with thoughts things, this we create our reality with the repetition of thought and what we truly believe about ourselves and people in our lives, right? And belief systems from childhood and things like that are passed down. I was still seeking out astrology. I was still watching astrology videos on TikTok. Even as of last night, I'm recording this morning to share my story, to urge you to stop giving astrology power, specifically in this video, astrology, everything outside of you, but specifically astrology right now, because if you believe that astrology can predict something in your life, then whenever you see something that an astrologer says to you, you're going to buy into it and it's going to manifest. Because all we're doing every day is creating our reality based on what we believe. So I started studying astrology like in my 20s, and I was really into tarot and all those things. But culturally, like I'm Latina, I'm Dominican, like these things, predictive things, are very typical in my culture, right? So I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but I am saying that if you really do believe that you create your reality, you shouldn't go to an outside source to tell you what's going to happen. Because the thing is, if you really do believe in it, if you're watching astrology because you think it's fun and you're like, haha, this is BS, right? But if you're watching astrology videos and, like transit videos, and because you actually believe that what they're telling you is going to impact your life in the way that they say for your rising sign, right? Then it is going to manifest. Because what we believe in, our belief system at the core, not that you believe in the astrologer. And yes, that's part of it. You could really believe in that astrologer. You can really believe in, in their skill set. But the true belief system that you are operating from, if you are watching astrologers for transits and predictions and what's going to happen when Mercury is retrograde and all this stuff for your, rising sign, that means that you deep down have a belief system that astrology has more power over you, that the planets have more power over you as a creator. And I'm saying this not to wag my finger and reprimand. I'm saying this because just last night I was watching something about Jupiter being in Gemini, right? And how it affects me as this rising sign. And literally this morning, and I watched this right before bed, and this is just kind of like an extra point. What we engage with right before we go to sleep really penetrates our subconscious mind. So I fell asleep thinking about the video, and then this morning, no lie, I got a call that basically was the exact same thing that the astrologer said could be an issue during this time for me as a Capricorn rising with Jupiter in Gemini. The astrologer didn't predict this, didn't create this for me. It wasn't her prediction that made it be what it is, right? That made me get that call. That call was created with that news, which I am debunking as just the unfolding for me to share this with you, for me to have this epiphany about astrology and my dependency on it that I thought I had let go of, but still it pulled me back in last night, right? That call, it wasn't her. What made my reality today show up the way she said it would was my belief in astrology, was my belief that the moons and the planets and the stars and how they align with my chart actually manifest and create my circumstances. Do you see that? Because if someone would have watched it and been like, even though when I watched it, I was like, I rebuke that. But at my core, I have a belief system believing in astrology I'm in my 40s, for over 20 years. So just because I say, yeah, no, I don't believe it, my subconscious mind believes it because I have believed it for that long. So it's very ingrained in me that astrology actually is predictive and it does affect my life and my circumstances. So just be really careful what you're giving power to in your reality. You are the creator of your reality. Your thoughts create. Your belief system and who you believe you are, who you identify as, and what you believe you deserve, and who you believe people are in your life. That is what manifests. So, if you are someone that's always watching astrology videos, that's getting your chart read, I was that person. I just watched a video last night. TikTok will suck you in. I was sucked into all of that on TikTok, okay? And I'm noticing that I was falling back into old patterns of like looking things up in my birth charts and different transits. I release it. And if you are still there, hopefully you will too. Okay? Okay.